Have you ever looked at a map of Europe and wondered what that little piece of Russia is doing, sandwiched between Poland and Lithuania? That's Kaliningrad, a place with a fascinating and complex history that explains its modern-day isolation. Let's dive into how this Russian exclave came to be. For most of its existence, this city wasn't called Kaliningrad at all. It was Königsberg, a key city in German history for over 700 years. It was the heart of the Teutonic Order, the capital of the Duchy of Prussia, and a major cultural and intellectual center within the German Empire. Think of the famous philosopher Immanuel Kant. He was born, lived, and died in Königsberg. The first hint of its future as an exclave came after World War I. The Treaty of Versailles carved up German territory, creating the Polish corridor to give Poland access to the sea. This action physically separated the German province of East Prussia, with Königsberg as its capital, from the rest of Germany. So, even back then, it was a German exclave. But the real transformation happened after World War II. The Red Army of the Soviet Union captured Königsberg in 1945 at the Potsdam Conference. The victorious Allied powers, the US, the UK, and the Soviet Union, decided the fate of the defeated Germany. They agreed to divide East Prussia. The southern part went to Poland, and the northern part, including the strategically important city of Königsberg, was ceded to the Soviet Union. The city was quickly renamed Kaliningrad, after Mikhail Kalinin, a prominent Bolshevik revolutionary. But why did it become part of the Russian Soviet Republic and not the neighboring Lithuanian Soviet Republic? The main reason was military strategy and Stalin's personal distrust. He saw the Baltic states, including Lithuania, as potentially unreliable. Kaliningrad's ice-free port was crucial for the Soviet Baltic fleet, and Stalin wanted it under direct control from Moscow. He wanted a firm Soviet military foothold right in the heart of Europe. What followed was a dramatic and tragic population shift. The German residents who hadn't fled the advancing Red Army were forcibly expelled in the following years. It was a harsh process of ethnic cleansing. In their place, hundreds of thousands of Soviet citizens, mostly ethnic Russians, were moved in to repopulate the devastated region and build a new Soviet city from the ashes of the old German one. Interestingly, after Stalin's death, there was a moment when history could have taken a different turn. In the late 1950s, Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev actually offered Kaliningrad to the Lithuanian Soviet Republic, but the Lithuanian leadership politely declined. Why? They were worried about the demographic consequences. Incorporating a region with such a large, recently settled Russian population would have drastically altered Lithuania's own ethnic makeup, and they feared it would create social and political instability. So, Kaliningrad remained part of the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic, and this is the key to understanding its status today. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, its 15 constituent republics became independent countries. The borders of these new countries were largely based on the internal borders of the US. Since Kaliningrad was administered as part of Russia, it naturally remained part of the newly independent Russian Federation, even though it was now geographically separated by the newly independent nations of Lithuania and Belarus. You might be wondering, why didn't Germany try to reclaim it? During the reunification of East and West Germany in 1990, the German government made a deliberate choice to accept the post-war borders. They wanted to reassure the world, especially their European neighbors like Britain and France, who were already nervous about a powerful, unified Germany, that they had no territorial ambitions. Seeking to reclaim former territories like Kaliningrad would have been seen as aggressive and would have jeopardized the entire reunification process. And so, through centuries of shifting borders, wars, and political decisions, the German city of Königsberg became the Russian city of Kaliningrad, a unique exclave and a living reminder of Europe's turbulent 20th century history. Thanks for watching. If you found this historical journey interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind the map. See you next time.